I think I'll go for early. I think he might start early, so we gotta be ready for that. Well, that's when he fights fighters like Zab Judah who don't get in shape for fights, and Manny Pacquiao does, and we won't get tired, believe me.
But will he be different from the Mayweather you fought with De La Hoya?
Yeah, I think he's older and slower.
To be a greatest is not based on your record undefeated, because there's so many fighters na nag-retire na undefeated.
Of Manny Pacquiao back at Wild Card, like he's never left, ready to go again, working with Freddie Roach. I feel like I'm back in 2010, the Wayback Machine. Pacquiao looked pretty good in some of the videos that I saw, like he wasn't in horrible shape.
Manny Pacquiao argues that an undefeated record alone does not determine greatness, pointing instead to his achievement of winning titles across 8 weight divisions as a rare accomplishment unmatched in boxing history.
You said that you saw that Pacquiao has his fire back. Where did you see that move, or when did that come into your conscious?
When I watched him sparring for the first 2 weeks, it was just, you know, the in and out, and the speed, making the guy, catching the guy 3-4 punch combination, getting out, making a miss. It was enjoyable to watch. It really was.
Freddie Roach reflects on the first bout, saying that Floyd Mayweather dictated much of the fight, while Manny Pacquiao entered the ring older, less sharp, and not at his physical peak. Manny Pacquiao confidently declares that he intends to give Floyd Mayweather his first career defeat, aiming to end his perfect 50-0 record and make history in the process.
Ano kaya advantage mo?
God willing, mag-anuan tayo, mag-isay lang tayo mabuti.
Okay.
Paghandaan na natin mabuti para magandang laban na may pakita natin.
Manny Pacquiao is seen training hard with coach Freddie Roach on the mitts, displaying sharp speed, crisp combinations, discipline, focus, and strong determination as he gets ready for the upcoming fight.
A little more fire.
I don't know, you think about that it got to that point, and Floyd played the game. He played the waiting game, and he won.
Yes.
He got paid. He got Pacquiao at an age where he knew that his punches weren't going to hurt him.
Yes.
He could avoid them, and it was an older fighter.
It was, and when Pacquiao fought his last fight in Australia, after the fight, I said, Manny, I said, you know what? I says, I think being a senator and being a fighter at the same time is like maybe a little bit too much, because I said, you know, it's hard enough being a world champion fighter, or it might be just as hard being a senator. But I says, I think that you should strongly think about giving one of those up for now and choose the one that you like best. And he has not spoke to me since then.
Freddie Roach warns Floyd Mayweather that he is not fully prepared, confidently saying Manny Pacquiao has perfected every skill and will step into the rematch completely ready and focused on winning in dominant fashion.
At least ako, I can claim na first 8 different weight division, which is the hardest accomplishment na in boxing.
And the only one.
The only one.
Division.
First, diba? Yung kumbaga, that's the hardest accomplishment in boxing ma-achieve. And also, yung blessings ng Panginoon na naging champion ako in 4 different decades. Do you imagine that? Bihira yung mangyari. First time in history na a fighter who became a champion in four different decades. So 90s, 2000, 2010, 2020. So bihira mangyari yan. So at least makaklaim ako ng...
This makes the matchup especially risky for an older fighter returning after limited recent competition. He suggests that even if Manny Pacquiao still brings experience and technical skill, facing a heavy puncher always carries real danger. Shifting focus, he also questions Floyd Mayweather and his ongoing involvement in exhibition bouts, expressing confusion over the level of opposition and pointing out that some of these matchups feel more like spectacle than serious competition. Overall, the analyst takes a skeptical stance on both situations, implying that these fights may be driven more by entertainment value and financial incentives than by genuine competitive necessity in the sport.
At the beginning of this conversation, you say, I don't like boastful people. How was it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
Yeah, he's boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that. I'm pretty with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believe God.
Yeah, I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things. I think, he kind of reminds me of like a lot of people are like this, by the way, including myself. I'm not just saying him. I'm including myself. The man who goes up to Jesus and says, what should I do to get into heaven? He says, sell all your belongings. And he walked away crying because he couldn't sell his belongings.
Boxing Ego offers a critical perspective on Manny Pacquiao stepping into the ring against a dangerous power puncher, raising concerns about inactivity on both sides. He notes that while Pacquiao has not been consistently active, his opponent also carries significant knockout power, having troubled fighters like Timothy Bradley and Chris Algieri in previous bouts. The analyst emphasizes a common boxing belief that punching power is often the last attribute to diminish, suggesting that this factor could play a major role in the matchup dynamics. Timothy Bradley also highlights that both Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao understand the pressure surrounding them, as their legacies are constantly under public scrutiny. He notes that even at this stage of their careers, their skill, experience, and ring intelligence still carry major influence. In Bradley's view, the fight is not only about proving superiority but also about meeting expectations that come with their names. Whether critics approve or not, he believes the matchup continues to drive conversation and remains one of the most talked about topics in boxing.
Floyd Mayweather is a boring fighter. I mean, the presentation is flashy, but he's a defense-first fighter. There's nothing to, when you watch him, you go, oh, okay, didn't get hit again, and he didn't get hit again. Tactically, he's brilliant, but not exciting. So, hey, if you sign up for it, go get him. Must be, it'll be September, so maybe it's a slow night for you, and you go, well, maybe I'll just buy this fight. Let me see these two guys lean on each other. But I don't know if this has to do, boxers never retire. Sugar Ray Leonard told me this when I went to his first retirement in Baltimore, and he talked about fighters never retire. The phone stops ringing.
Timothy Bradley offers a balanced view on the potential clash between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, acknowledging that while many question the timing and relevance of the fight, it still generates huge attention worldwide. He explains that events of this scale naturally carry history, legacy, and global appeal, regardless of differing opinions. Bradley adds that even if fans debate whether the matchup is happening too late, the names involved still command respect and curiosity. In his view, that alone is enough to keep both fighters firmly in the spotlight and maintain strong interest in the bout.
Get a victory. Now guys don't do that. Pac-Man, fortunately, is one of those guys who knows how to use the ring. So he don't stand in just one place and fight. With that being said, if his legs can hold up for 12 rounds, he's the guy to do it.
Drawing from insights often associated with Bob Arum, he emphasizes that age tends to impact a fighter's legs more than their power or ability to take punches. Movement, balance, and stamina are usually the first attributes to decline, and Manny Pacquiao has always depended heavily on his footwork-based style. Despite that concern, Chris Mannix believes Pacquiao's experience and ring intelligence could help him adjust effectively. He points out that veteran fighters often learn how to manage pace, reduce unnecessary risks, and protect themselves more efficiently, making a comeback more strategic and controlled rather than purely reckless.
He did.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, stop. What's the guy named in the wheelchair right now?
Paul Williams.
He could have fought him.
I don't think he would have beat.
I ain't say that. I said he could have fought him, though. And you don't think, in my opinion, the only person that really had a chance in his weight class back then was Amir Khan. He wasn't touching Amir Khan. That time Amir had two good feet. He wasn't fighting Amir Khan.
Amir was calling him out for years.
He wasn't fighting Amir Khan. Amir Khan had two good feet. I already know this.
I just don't think he would have beat Floyd.
I ain't saying what you don't know.
Time and very good.
Yeah, what you
Yeah, he was young, he was fast, he was knocking people out.
You don't understand boxing like I do though. Floyd was knocking out? Besides Pac, besides
Not at that time. Not at that time, nobody.
That's it.
Yeah,
so
after that, nobody.
so if you ain't knocking people out, how you got to catch Khan and knock him out, and you got to get out that shoulder, you got to chase Khan.
Chris Mannix shares a reflective take on Manny Pacquiao returning to training with Freddie Roach, describing it as a nostalgic moment for boxing fans who remember their peak years together dominating the sport. He notes that the sight of them working again brings back strong memories of their prime era. However, Mannix also urges caution when evaluating Pacquiao based on short training clips. He explains that brief footage can be misleading, since any fighter can look sharp in isolated moments, pointing to examples like Mike Tyson appearing explosive in promotional videos. Because of that, he argues that highlight-style clips shouldn't be treated as full evidence of fight readiness or current form.
But, maybe, financial issues could be affecting one or both of these fighters, and that's why you're doing it. I don't know why you watch this unless the undercard is really good. Maybe the novelty of being in that building, having a boxing match in the Sphere, but it's real. It's real. Does Conor McGregor get the winner of this fight? I mean, now, if Conor McGregor got to do MMA against Floyd, now that would be fun. That would have been interesting. But it's like, and then do one of the brothers, what are their names? The Paul brothers, do they get to fight something? I mean, is this where boxing is?
Yes.
How did we?
Dan Patrick further questions the entertainment value of a potential rematch between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, wondering whether audiences are more drawn to the spectacle than the actual competition. While their first encounter generated massive global revenue, he suggests that a second meeting may not carry the same level of authenticity or sporting intrigue. Overall, his perspective challenges the current direction of boxing, raising the question of whether the sport is truly evolving with fresh matchups or simply revisiting its past in pursuit of profit.
He's a brilliant businessman, but you start to read articles of, he's got things in foreclosure, and I can't imagine that you would lose but Mike Tyson did. But then, we had people stealing right in front of him. That was the difference here. But with Floyd, I thought Floyd was like a Darrell Revis kind of businessman. So that's, if he's coming back because he needs money, that is sad. Yes, Todd.
How much money, and I don't understand the financial part of how they get millions of dollars to have these fights that supposedly are kind of ridiculous and it's like an exhibition nobody wants to see. How much of that money is based on who goes to the fight and as far as people that are buying pay-per-view? What if so many people decided, I'm not going to the fight, I'm not going to watch it on pay-per-view, they're still going to get millions of dollars? There's still enough money out there to pay these guys crazy money.
Dan Patrick offers a thoughtful and slightly critical take on a potential rematch between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. He questions whether there is genuine fan demand for the fight or if the push is being driven by other interests behind the scenes. Patrick humorously notes that boxing seems to be in a phase where retired legends could be tempted back, referencing names like Thomas Hearns, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and Mike Tyson. His comments reflect concern that the sport may be leaning too heavily on nostalgia instead of building fresh, competitive matchups. He also suggests that financial motivations could be influencing these comeback discussions, implying that some decisions might be driven more by money than by legacy. Overall, his perspective raises questions about what is really fueling these high-profile fight talks.
Look, I can post a video and look good for 10 seconds right now, just like when Mike Tyson looked like when he was promoting the Jake Paul fight. You writers and you guys with the non-boxing eye need to get those videos out of your head, because they're just clips. Anyone could look good for that long. I can train you to look good for 10 seconds. It'll be pretty hard, but I can train you to look good for 10 seconds on video. So don't worry about that. I look, Bob Arum knows what he's talking about, because it's the legs that's going to get to Pacquiao, not the power, not the explosive speed in front of a heavy bag. But whenever you're in front of an opponent and he's going to be moving around, it's the legs that are going to fail you. They're going to betray you. The power's not going to betray you. That lasts until the very end. His punch resistance, that's not going to betray him, because that never goes. Speed, and it's because you rely on your legs. That's the thing that goes at age. So at 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao's not going to have zero.
Roy Jones Jr. also points out that Manny Pacquiao combines his speed with high-level intelligence, allowing him to read opponents quickly and adjust in real time. He explains that this ability keeps Pacquiao one step ahead in exchanges, often turning defense into offense within seconds. In Jones' view, Pacquiao's agility is not only physical but also mental, giving him the capacity to adapt under pressure during high-paced fights. He concludes that this rare mix of movement, speed, and ring awareness is what makes Pacquiao such a dangerous and unforgettable figure in boxing history.
Pacquiao only got knocked out 3 times in 72 fights. 2 of those were in the 90s before you and I even knew him. And 1 time against Marquez, it was a one-punch knockout. Those really don't take away from your career and your longevity. It was one-punch knockouts. It's the beatdowns over a long period of time, for 10, 12, 11, 11 rounds. Those are the ones that catch up to you. Those are the ones that actually slow you down and are detrimental to your health. One-punch knockouts, you can get past those. Early knockouts that are way back in the rearview mirror, you can forget.
Roy Jones Jr. speaks with deep admiration about Manny Pacquiao and his unique brilliance inside the ring. He highlights that Pacquiao's greatest asset is not just his power, but his non-stop movement and unpredictable rhythm. According to Jones, Pacquiao rarely stays in one place long enough to become an easy target, which can unsettle even elite-level opponents. It further explains that Pacquiao's footwork and angles let him launch attacks from unexpected positions, making him difficult to read or defend against. Every movement has intent, with each step setting up the next offensive action. This fluid style forces opponents to pause and think, and in boxing, even a brief hesitation can completely shift the outcome of a fight.